What if there was a sculpture to honor 4 influential pro wrestling heroes called the Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling? Who would be featured? Let's talk about 4 wrestlers who were not only great, but also tremendously important. Dynamite Kid. He was the best wrestler in the world from 1979 through 1983, and he influenced generations of wrestlers through his ability to be creative and innovative. His work in Calgary and in Japan is legendary. His prime was the birth of modern pro wrestling as we know it, as pro wrestling never looked the same again, thanks to Dynamite Kid modernizing the sport. Dynamite Kid showed pro wrestlers that the sky is the limit, and that inspired wrestlers to think outside the box. He paved the way for generations to come. The list of wrestlers inspired by Dynamite Kid is endless, as so many were either directly or indirectly influenced by him. The first Tiger Mask. Satoru Sayama was one of the best pro wrestlers in the world from 1982 through 1985, and he was one of the most spectacular wrestlers of his time. Also, he was a big influence on high-flying pro wrestling and shoot-style pro wrestling, and indirectly also a big influence on MMA, as he influenced the world of combat sports by making people aware of possibilities of expansion. His high-flying ability encouraged junior heavyweight wrestlers to display their athleticism and willingness to take risks more, and Sayama basically had MMA in mind long before the term MMA was coined. He was part of the original UWF, which would lead to the formation of successor shoot-style leagues and eventually the formation of MMA leagues. Akira Hokuto. She was a tremendous worker during the first 4 years of the 1990s, with 1993 standing out as her peak year. She not only was a great pure worker, but she also understood and excelled at incorporating a great display of drama in her matches and feuds, especially during the interpromotional era of the mid-1990s. She also showed a lot of determination and passion, as she was often willing to keep fighting in spite of injuries. She played a big role in joshi prowess being seen on the same level as danshi prowess. You could say that she definitely helped preserve the results achieved by the hard work of Jaguar Yokota and the Crush Gals during the 1980s. Rey Mysterio Jr. He took the high-flying standards set by Dynamite Kid and the first Tiger Mask and set the bar of daredevil high-flying even higher by modernizing high-flying wrestling. He was only 17 years old when he started participating in recommendable matches in 1992. He is also one of the first wrestlers of Mexican descent to be fully accepted by American audiences and treated like a true superhero during the great era of the WCW Cruiserweight division and beyond. Especially during the mid-1990s, he was one of the best wrestlers in the world. His matches with Psicosis and Juventud Guerrera were classics. In other words, Rey Mysterio Jr. helped promote the development of wrestling by taking things to the next level. Without these 4 wrestlers, Dynamite Kid, the first Tiger Mask, Akira Hokuto, and Rey Mysterio Jr., wrestling wouldn't be what it is today. That's why they belong in pro wrestling's version of Mount Rushmore and should be honored forever.